You're listening to the Ripple Podcast. We joke and laugh a lot, but the content itself is serious, sometimes scary, graphic, and always true. This podcast is meant for mature audiences and includes subject matter and language that is not suitable for young listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor. Ripple.
Welcome.
I feel very strange right now sitting on your side.
Well, I'm like knowing now why you picked this. This is chairs.
It's way more comfortable.
Super comfortable.
Yeah, you sit on a footstool the entire time we record.
My feet touch the ground when I sit on that.
They touch the ground there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
but this is a comfy chair.
It's way more comfortable. We switched places today.
I might pull older sibling rank and steal this seat.
Well, our podcasts are going to be a lot shorter because I'm not going to sit here this entire time.
Yeah, that doesn't really bother me when I sit there normally.
Well, good. You can keep sitting here next week.
I know. We had to trade today because I had printer problems, so I will be reading off of my laptop tonight, and the laptop is closer to this chair, so I get to sit in the nice chair tonight.
Yep.
How was your week?
It was okay. I had some things to tell you.
Okay, tell me.
One, we had a listener have a theory on last week's episode.
Oh.
Okay.
How do we know that? From Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed. Okay, that's funny because I have a Facebook story to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
Instagram listener said that, and a reminder real quick, we talked about the Kentucky meat shower where a bunch of raw meat came raining down from the cloudless sky.
Sickest story I've ever heard.
And
disgusting.
Then, of course, the other thing that we talked about, because we were talking about Kentucky, is whiskey. So this listener said that the meat shower could have come from a backwoods moonshine still that exploded and just ripped the flesh right off the bones of the whiskey makers and sent them flying into the field. So that's our theory.
Okay, so I have another theory.
Oh,
but this
your
is,
theory?
Well, no, this is my husband's theory.
Oh, okay.
I guess in that time frame, because you know how good I am at history, he said that catapults were very commonly used.
For what?
For fighting people.
No, they weren't.
I don't know. This is what he said.
Wait. What year did he think it was?
1800s? Isn't that what it was?
Late 18. No, people were not were they?
Angela?
I thought that was like medieval times when. And why are they catapulting over to the
little old lady who's doing her
trying to make soap in her yard?
And why are they catapulting meat? Hundreds and hundreds of pounds of meat? I don't know. But that was his theory.
Oh.
He didn't really listen to the episode. It was just my Cliff Notes version. So it's quite possible that it was my retelling of your story.
Catapults.
Mm-hmm.
In late 1800s America.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, like, I know. I'm acting like I know that is in fact not a thing, and when really I have no idea.
It's quite possible that I told him the wrong century as well. So I don't know.
Well, it was in the U.S. and the U.S. wasn't that old. It still isn't that old.
I don't even know if I told him that much.
Oh,
I don't. Yeah.
Anyway,
but I did tell him a little bit about our normally I don't say much about our podcast.
I thought he was a dedicated listener.
No, I think he's listened to 2 episodes.
What the hell?
Well,
come on. We need our ratings up.
Speaking of ratings, send us a review. Send us a subscription.
Yeah, we send you goodies when you do that. We sent out some really, really cool stuff. We bribed some listeners.
We did.
And you just sent that out, right?
Uh-huh.
So there was, what was in it? I forgot.
There's some cool crystals. Our super cool Ripple podcast stickers with
those
our
are awesome.
logo on them. They're super professional looking.
Yeah. I mean, that alone is a prize. Come on, guys.
Seriously. That is rad. What else was in there?
There was a bracelet, a really cool bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
That it was really cool because it just looked like a kind of a very elegant, just silver cuff sort of thing. But on the inside, it said, "Keep fucking going."
That's what it was. I
love that. I kind of wish I kept one of those for myself.
I told you that I was going to keep a whole prize pack for myself, and I didn't. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The other listener that
the Facebook story that you're going to tell me.
Person, and I'm going to give her a little shout out. Her name's Jacqueline. I won't say her last name, but her name's Jacqueline. And she recently discovered us.
Very cool.
And she messaged and said like, "Hey, I'm really enjoying listening. I'm one of them." She said, "I'm on the Child Star episode."
Oh, that's way back.
Oh, she started in episode 1.
Oh, that scares me.
I didn't want to say that to her. Like, ooh, that's the old stuff.
I sometimes wonder if we should delete those episodes and like re-record them because they're so bad.
But she's like, "I've been listening or binge listening to the pod, and it's so good." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's nice." And then then like a little bit later, she said, "I'm on episode 18."
Holy shit.
And then
she probably listens to them on double time like I do.
She really liked the conspiracy episodes. And then she found us on Facebook. So she's like a fan on Facebook now.
Okay.
And then what else did she say? Then she said, "OMG, I'm on episode 24. There's a place called the Whaley House." Do you know of it?
Yes.
So that's a suggestion from her.
Okay.
And it's in San Diego.
Yep.
So we could go and visit that.
When COVID's over.
Hopefully. Yeah. But she said that it's like super fun. It's like.
It's very haunted.
Yeah. And then the last thing she said was, "It's so good. You and your sister are so funny."
Okay.
I know.
That's really nice.
But I mean, it was like a conversation with her, and I was like, "Oh, this is like, I'm like getting to know our listeners."
Yeah.
Because we respond. If you guys send us a message,
yes,
we might not respond right away because obviously, like, I didn't even see the message on Instagram that Angela saw, and she didn't even see this Facebook one.
And that's the problem. And actually, there was a listener who messaged us recently, and it took us a long time to reply because I think what happens is if I see the notification, then it goes away for your phone.
Right.
Because we both have it. And so what happens is sometimes one of us will open the notification but not see the message, and then the other person does it. I don't know.
So we're not ignoring you. We will never ignore you.
No, we just might take a while.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything.
I know we've been talking a little bit with the person that runs the Missing Kyle Britton page. Yes. She's super sweet.
And she has another suggestion that we actually talked about doing a story on this, but it's really, really new, and I still think there's a lot of information coming out. So that will be revisited. Mm-hmm. But it's a super. I don't even like want to give it away, but it's so crazy. It's a great suggestion. So yeah, how was your week?
It's weird. Today was a holiday for Eden. It's Veterans Day, so thank you to all the vets out there for your service. We appreciate you. And so that was different, just because we were off school all day, and normally I have a little bit of time to get stuff done at the house, but that didn't really happen today. And we also were informed that she will not be going back to school on the 30th.
Wait, why?
Because Ventura County is in trouble again, COVID style.
Oh, are we like in purple again?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Nobody knows the colors.
Why? Why is it like purple, red, or like why isn't it like Roy G. Biv colors, or why isn't it like
why is it like
stoplight?
Fire? Yeah, exactly. For all of our fire warnings, it's like a stoplight.
Yes.
If it's a red flag day, that's bad news.
Everyone knows red means stop. Don't do anything.
But in COVID colors, green is really bad.
It doesn't make any sense.
We've been in purple, in and out of purple. And apparently
we were orange.
That's bad.
Were we orange for a while?
Is orange better or worse than purple?
This doesn't make any sense.
No one knows.
The colors don't make any sense. And is it like that, like nationwide, or is that just a effed up California thing?
I don't know. It's kind of like Whose Line. It's like the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Nobody knows anything.
That should pretty much be the tagline for our podcast. I brought you some really yummy wine.
I already had an entire glass of it.
I'm so happy you did.
I might have 2 or maybe 2.5. Oh, holy shit! We have like a quarter of the bottle left.
We cracked it open 10 minutes ago.
Pretty much. The stuff seriously goes down. You know what? Okay. Going back to our name, Ripple. Ripple is also the name, and I think we've talked about this before, which is where,
Ripple.
right, our little jingle comes from. It's the name of like a super cheapo liquor from back in the day. And I've heard, I've never had it, but I've heard it was kind of like Boone Farms, like this, or
Yes.
Strawberry Hill or whatever. I don't know if that's the same thing or two different things.
I think it's the same, but yeah, like the cheapest of
like
cheap.
super cheap
Like plastic bottle style.
wine that tastes like soda and is for sure going to give you a hangover headache. That's kind of what this tastes like.
So this apparently is a pretty decent wine.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's a high quality version of that because I don't feel like it's going to give me a headache.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, that's to be determined.
This is it's got a 90 points gold medal winner label on it from the World Wine Championship. And it's Stella Rosa and it's black. And
It tastes like purple.
tastes like blue.
It tastes like purple. It really does. Purple drink.
It says on it semi-sweet, and
It is
lies.
not. That is all lies.
This is like the sugariest of sugar. It's sweeter than like a Moscato.
It is. It really is. It's so sweet.
I mean, it's yummy. But
Yeah, it's super delicious. It goes down fast.
too easy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good. I feel classy, and I even brought us wine glasses, like real glass ones.
I know. I feel super fancy.
I might leave those here because Eric, I know, does not have wine glasses.
No, we drink out of coffee mugs typically.
Usually.
I have a little story for you if you want.
I love stories.
It's super quick.
Okay.
And this is actually, I meant to tell you about it last week, but I totally forgot. So when you told your story 2 weeks ago about the haunted house place, the McRaven.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you see how hard that was for me to remember 2 weeks ago?
I know.
Oh my
I saw
gosh.
you like rolling your
Whoa.
eyes, trying really hard.
What the hell did I talk about?
All I remember is that it's kind of like McDonald's and it's kind of like Eric's dog's name.
I love it.
So anyway, you told me that story and I'm like, ghosts aren't a thing. That's not real, Rosa. And you know where I live?
Yeah.
You've been to my house.
Yes. Frequently.
And after we leave here and it's dark outside, I drive to my house.
On a dark, unlit road.
Unlit, dark, windy road that's one, not just like one lane, but like one car width.
Correct.
Is that the same as one lane? I feel like one lane has cars going from either direction. But anyway, this is like wide enough for one car. So if a
Right.
car is coming the other direction, you have to pull over. And there's a mountain on one side. So
A
you
big,
can't,
long cliff.
like, think
on
of
the
a
other.
wall on one side and a cliff that drops way, way, way down into a dry riverbed on the other side. And I got to thinking, if something appears on this road,
You're going in one or the other?
what do you do? I can't, I mean, I guess I could back up, but then if you back up, your back is to,
Oh, no. I would not back up on that road.
what do you do?
So if you're saying, like, if I see a ghost?
If I see a ghost, I guess I just drive through it because it's dead already, right?
Totally. And
But what if it gets in my car?
then you say, hey, put your seatbelt on.
What if you see like a person and you're not sure if they're dead or if they're very much alive? Like imagine driving down my road, going to my house, and then a person comes out in the middle of the road and stands in front of you. What do you do?
Cry. You just cry.
So I called Adam on the way home.
And say, talk to me.
Yes.
I've done that before, too. I've scared myself a lot, like, especially after these. I think it may have been that same night because driving home to my house, it's, again, I don't live in the city either. I do have a paved road.
Yeah,
least
you
to my
have
house.
a paved
It's at
road
least
and
a
you have street light. Well,
no street lights.
Not street lights, but like signal lights.
On the way. But even driving on, that long straight road where you saw your dead family.
Oh yeah. I've seen dead people there.
I always look for them
Oh,
because Nick has seen them there as well.
You should talk to them on your way. I mean, I have limited experience with these ghosts, but from my limited experience, they were friendly.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I saw actually on Instagram today, I don't remember what podcast, it was another podcast posted it, but it was a meme, I guess a meme, but it said, if you saw a shadow figure or a shadow person, would you approach it? That's all it said. And I was like, whoa, like that's making me think. Because would I approach that shadow figure?
Is it moving or is it still? I think that would be the determining factor for me. Because if it's still, I would be like, hey, what things are making that shadow? You know?
Mm-hmm. But if it's like moving.
If it's moving.
And it's most.
Then
like,
I'm moving.
Like that story that our listener sent in when they saw the shadow of people in the watching TV that wasn't on. Remember? And that like the head like looked at her.
Yes.
Those people were moving.
Yeah, I would be moving far away.
And she
fast.
Ran.
Yeah.
But she was also like a kid.
But I think I would be less afraid as a kid, I think.
Probably because you don't know any better.
Yeah, kids are dumb.
I mean, I can't really argue that too much.
Well, I'm just talking from personal experience because I did a lot of stupid stuff as a kid.
Oh, I thought you were referring to my kid.
No, your kid's surprisingly smart.
She really is. I don't know where she got it from. Not her mom. Not her mom. Okay, do you want to hear my story?
Yeah, tell me a story. Okay. Wait, remind me of what topic and place you pulled because I remember the place. I don't remember the topic.
Well, the place should be pretty simple to remember because we are in November, which is the month of Thanksgiving. And here in the United States, for Thanksgiving, we eat turkey. So we are in Turkey this month, this day, this week.
Right.
Today.
Right now, this moment. But what was your topic?
Crimes. True crimes.
And your drink, the Stella Rosa that we already talked about, it relates to the crime?
Partially to the story.
Okay.
Part of the story you'll hear takes place in Paris.
Okay. So we're drinking a sweet, romantical, pinkish red wine.
From Paris.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start by saying I visited Google Translate very frequently for this story. And you know how Google Translate works. It doesn't always like translate 100% for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think any of them really can.
No. But even that translation, you sometimes have to translate. So this is a language I obviously don't speak because I don't even speak English all that well. So if I slaughter these words, I'm apologizing in advance. So here we go. So this is a story, and it starts out with a guy named Atalay Filiz, Filiz.
Phyllis, huh?
I'm going to call him Atalay the whole time.
Not going to call him Sif?
No. No, just Atalay. He was born on June 6, 1986. And his father retired from the military and entered a career as a pilot in the Turkish Airlines.
Cool.
Okay, so when Atalay was 11 years old, his parents noticed that he would like constantly wipe electrical switches after he touched them. And the reason they'd ask him like, okay, what are you doing? You're flipping a light on and then off and then you wipe it down. What's that about? And he said he didn't want to leave any fingerprints on it.
But just electrical switches?
Just electrical switches, at least according to this one.
What an amateur, because you can get those off of doorknobs.
Everything.
Computers. Keys.
So this was so severe, though, that he was actually taken to the military hospital in 1997, and he was diagnosed with OCD.
Okay, I was just going to say, it sounds like an OCD type of thing.
Which, I mean, a lot of people have OCD behaviors. Like, that's not that big of a deal.
Sure.
So during this time, he said that he started receiving messages from newspapers, and that these messages would tell him to complete specific tasks. Okay, that isn't necessarily something normal.
Wait, so he is, because I feel like I've seen something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I think I saw it on The Simpsons. But he's reading.
Probably they predict all the future.
Oh, dude, we need to do a whole episode about The Simpsons predicting the future.
Eric has suggested that to us before.
I thought about it,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have to pick up. Okay, we can get into this.
Yeah.
Because there's also a theory on where Springfield is actually located.
Oh, I haven't heard that part.
Mhm. But that's a whole different episode that we definitely need. Maybe we could do that as a. We should do that as a joint episode.
Maybe that could be our first Patreon episode.
Yeah, Rosa. Yeah. Let's do that.
That would be really fun.
That would be really fun.
Okay, we'll plan that.
But no. Back to the newspaper thing.
Mm.
So like he's reading the paper and then he is like deciphering
Messages in
messages
So-
that he feels are to him.
Correct.
Okay,
Specifically
gotcha. Got
to
it.
him. They're like secret codes, secret tasks
Uh-huh.
they're telling him to do. So maybe he's reading like the fourth letter in every third word and it spells
Buy
out
bounty paper towels.
100%.
I was just thinking like ads in newspapers.
Yeah, totally.
No, do we know what it tells him to do?
Mm-mm. We'll see.
Okay.
And then this is like some people say is a strange behavior. Maybe that you and I are just strange. I don't know. But he had a funeral for his deceased bird, which
that doesn't seem strange.
I think that's kind.
Yeah.
So that didn't really bother me. But then he mummified
Oh no.
his pet turtle that died.
Oh no.
So I thought that was a little bit more different. And he liked to keep, like they said, strange items and as a collection. And one of the things that they mentioned was like a razor that his grandfather had used.
I don't think that's all that strange.
The used razor.
Yeah, because you also have to consider what was the year? It was like back in
97.
oh.
There goes that theory.
Well, maybe. I mean, there's a possibility that his grandpa had like a nice, because people used to take care of stuff like that and keep it. And it was like, it wasn't a disposable thing.
Right.
It came,
It was like made out of ivory or something. Yeah.
well, that's inappropriate.
Well, but some people would think that's of something of value.
yeah, it's creepy. Don't do that. Don't kill elephants.
No, please don't. So, Atalay, he went to a school called Galatasaray. Sure. Mhm.
Exactly.
This really, really prominent high school in Turkey. And he graduated with honors. And he did really well in school. And the teachers were always happy about his schoolwork. And one teacher even gave a quote that said, "He is so intelligent that he could survive in a jungle when left alone."
What's
And I
that
was
like?
Like, whoa. I want to be in that guy's class. Like, what are you teaching us? Like survival skills rather than how to solve a geometric sphere? Is that not?
How'd you do in geometry?
Was that a math thing? So, his friends, however, told some other like strange stories,
Okay.
and they said that he would like hide fruit in various places
What?
for months just to come back and check on like the molding process.
Oh, weird.
And this whole molding process thing, it was so well known in the school that they even mentioned it in like their high school yearbook.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be the kid who has to sit next to.
The moldy kid.
Yes.
He's the moldy kid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He
You
sounds
could
like
probably smell him coming down the hallway.
Well, I don't know if he has the fruit in his pocket, but yeah, gross. In 2005, Atalay took it's called the OSS, and I had to look that up, but it's pretty much a placement test or higher education examination for undergraduates, like getting placed into college.
Okay, so like our ACT SAT test.
Right. But he deliberately failed the exam so he could instead get out of Turkey to study abroad.
Wait, how does that work?
I don't know, but I should have failed everything.
No, that doesn't work because you still have to get into a program.
Well, maybe it was an easier program to get into.
Maybe
if he like signed on with some study abroad program. I don't know.
Or maybe they were studying abroad in a place that nobody wanted to go.
No, he went to Paris.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah. So, he also spoke 4 languages. I forgot to mention that. Like,
that seems like an important thing.
Because I was
to
like, oh, okay, you deliberately failed this exam. Sure, you're just not that smart, and you just told people that you failed. But no, he was really, really smart.
I feel like a lot of other countries do that, and we just don't, though. Like, I feel like most other countries, people speak more than one language.
Oh, it's like a common thing. No, most of them learn English, like, as a second language. In itself, we're just don't care about it enough, which is ridiculous. How many years of Spanish did you take?
I took 2 years. I should be able to speak a little bit of Spanish, but I've honestly learned more from my Duolingo app on my phone than I did in those 2 years of studying Spanish in school.
I took 4 years of sign language.
Yeah.
4 years. But, I mean, 2 years in high school and then 2 years in college.
But then, you should be pretty good at it then, right?
I used to be decent, but I would never call myself fluent, ever.
Well, the thing is, you don't really get to practice sign language all that often.
No, it doesn't happen all that frequently.
Yeah.
And then when I do get a chance to use it, I get nervous and don't.
You're just like flailing fingers all over the place. You accidentally flip them off.
You
like,
damn bitch. So Atalay went to the University of Paris Sud in France to study biology. But turns out he actually never attended any of the classes. He just pretty much lied to everyone, telling them that he was going to school. He told friends in France that he had to stop taking classes because he didn't have enough money to pay for them. But then when he went back to Turkey to visit his family, he told them that he was going and he was eventually going to go study to get his doctorate. So in 2008, Atalay meets this girl named Olga Seregina. And when she came to Paris as like a student exchange program. Were you going to say something?
Yeah.
What?
What the hell with this wine?
Why? What's wrong with that?
Okay, so I'm looking at this bottle of wine while you're talking, and I notice, it has a nutritional label on the back. That's weird. Alcohol doesn't typically have a nutritional label on the back.
Is this not really alcohol?
There's no freaking alcohol in this wine.
No, there is.
No.
This is the worst wine ever. What? Nick bought it in the wine section. This is stupid.
This is dumb. I take back everything I said about liking this wine.
No. Are you kidding? Stella Rosa makes a non-alcoholic wine. It has a label on it. So, let me see it.
0.5% alcohol. 0.5%.
I think kombucha has more alcohol in it.
There's more alcohol in my pee than that.
Go get some whiskey or something. We'll add it to this.
What is
some
this
vodka?
Nonsense.
I was wondering why we were pounding it so fast and I could still read.
You need to have a word with Nick.
Okay, pause it.
Okay.
And we're back with some real alcohol.
Well, that was embarrassing. Let's add this Bacardi to our grape soda.
Oh, Puerto Rico. That's nowhere near Turkey, is it?
No.
Okay.
Angela said confidently.
All right.
What a waste of calories, man. So we're back to this guy who's ditching out on all of his classes.
Right. And
somehow still surviving.
Yeah, he's working and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he meets this girl named Olga Seregina in 2008. And she was there on a student exchange program. And they become friends and start dating. And they even get engaged. And their relationship continues even long distance. Because Olga went back home for a while, and then
where's Olga live?
Originally,
Germany,
Russia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, I should have guessed.
Olga Seregina. Does that sound Russian?
No, but we'll go with it.
Okay. So she goes back home, and then she comes back to Paris again in 2010. And this time, when she comes back, she brings her friend Elena Chikova.
I don't know, just
Chikava. I think that sounds right.
Say it really angrily, and then it'll
Elena Radchikova.
Yes.
With her. Olga and Elena, they decide to rent a place with Atalay and Atalay's childhood friend. Okay. Tell me how to say this name.
Oh,
I'm
God.
just going to show it to you.
Oh, God.
Do you see this word right here?
The one with the red underline saying that everything's spelled. Those aren't even real letters. No.
It's like a G with an O with 2 dots over it, and then a K and a U and a G with a little.
Have your phone pronounce it. But are you typing the right letters? Because those ones have little dots and
I'll do his last
dashes
name
over it.
too.
Wait. I got it. Ready?
Go. Just do his first name. Gutag.
Okay, this is how you say it. Like
In
if you're Turkish, you say it like this. And then if you're butchering it with an American accent, you say it like this.
Gutag
Gugtug.
Dermerasin.
Gugtug.
Okay, we're going to call him just G.
Okay.
Because that is a very hard word for me to say. So Atalay and Olga are still super close. They're, dating here and there. And they go on vacation together in 2011. And she stays with his family in their home for a week to visit. And during that vacation, they get into a fight over something. And she's like, I'm out of here. I'm going back to Paris, and leaves him and goes back early.
Wow. That's quite the fight. That's
Yeah.
some serious business there.
So she's like, I just got to get out. I got to get away from you for a
That's
while.
that's relationship ending, right?
You would think.
I would think that if I left a vacation early, then that's like, it's the end of that one.
If it's that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And Elena and G, they're in a relationship as well. So they have been dating, and they have like a few fallouts, as you do with like when you're renting a place with your roommates.
Yeah.
And so they're like, you know what? We need our own place. So they decide to get a place of their own. And somewhere in this time, because like I said, I looked at, a bunch of different sources and a bunch of different translations, and I don't know exactly what this timeline is, but shortly thereafter, Atalay enlists in the army. And Olga, she's still in Paris, and she gets a job as a nanny. And they're still talking, and in my mind, it sounds like kind of like friends with benefits type thing.
Okay.
And Atalay, he's like, you know what? I have a 10-day leave from the military. Do you want to hang out, get some coffee, catch up? And she's like, you know what? That's a good idea. I wouldn't mind kind of seeing him again. Maybe have some closure.
Yeah, closure. Let's go meet up for closure. That's always a great idea.
Well, they're meeting for coffee in a public place. It's not like they're coming to his place for a drink. But apparently she still has maybe some stuff of hers at his old place.
Also, that's a lie. That's a cop-out. Nobody cares about that stuff.
Well,
if you left it behind, I mean, I don't
how
know.
long has it been there? Do you really need it that
right.
bad?
If you've been without it for this long, do you really want it?
So she tells the family that she's working for what's going on and that she's going to be home later that afternoon, and she doesn't return.
Uh-oh.
And they try calling her cell phone, but the cell phone's totally turned off. And when she still wasn't home by morning, they report her missing to authorities. So shortly after Olga disappeared, and this is according to one of Olga's really good friends, Olga had emailed her the night before telling her that she was meeting somebody very important to her, but didn't say exactly who.
Weird.
And, putting that information together with the nanny job people, they, kind of figure out it's, Atalay. And this is 2011 now.
Okay.
So Olga's family, they ask the Russian police to, quote, break the code and examine her laptop, but they were uninterested. And
oh, no.
A lot of sources I kept reading saying that just Olga's family was so upset because authorities just weren't willing to work with them to find out what happened to their daughter.
You would think that you would go to the company, too. Like, if the police can't do it or won't do it, you would think that you could go to, like, okay, I need to break into Rosa's laptop. I'm going to take it to Apple.
Yeah. I don't know how things work.
Right. I'm sure that in
other
different countries, there's different privacy
right.
rules and stuff on like what you can break into. But yeah, that seems like super important information.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So this is much later on now, but Russian hackers is how they're labeled. They managed to break in. So
It's always the Russian hackers.
well, that's a Russian family that's hiring these hackers.
Oh.
So they only thing that they could find on the laptop was a single photo of Olga with an engagement ring. So it's like a picture of her like holding up her engagement ring.
That's the only thing on the whole. What?
That and 4 pictures taken with G and his girlfriend Elena. That's the only thing that was on that laptop.
What? That doesn't make sense.
Apparently, I don't know if everything else was deleted, or if that's all that they could recover. Maybe she had stuff like super high password safe. I don't know.
Weird.
And a couple times I read that Olga's parents didn't even know that they were engaged. So
Suspicious.
apparently he had asked Olga to marry him, and she had said no, but then maybe said later yes. That part is very unclear as well. So there's some other friends, when they get interviewed, they say that Olga had wanted to actually like cut all ties with Atalay since early August. And remember, she goes missing in December.
This relationship has so many red flags.
Oh, absolutely. Like she
news.
wanted out for sure, but for whatever reason, she could never end it. They also said that Atalay was obsessed with Olga and would constantly threaten her. So they're threatening.
The way to my heart.
He's threatening her enough that, friends are knowing about it. So G and Elena, they are like, I'm out. We're cutting all ties with Atalay because they are pretty much thinking that he has something to do with Olga's disappearance, but they can't prove it. So they actually don't hear from him until 2013, when he started to send emails to them saying that he wanted to meet up with them. And they just don't respond. They totally ignore the emails, and Atalay starts getting pissed. He's like sending emails now that are super angry and insulting to them. And he emails Elena that says he has a recorded video of G kissing another woman and that he's been cheating on her. So she needs to break up with him and just get away from him.
Wow, he's just stirring the pot any way he can.
And he's just, trying to get any reaction out of them, and they're just totally ignoring him.
Psycho.
And then friends of the couple, they suspect that Atalay wants to actually have a relationship with Elena, and he was really jealous of the relationship that she had with his childhood friend.
Oh, that seems really messy. That just doesn't seem worth it.
And others say that, the reason that he was wanted to confront them was because they thought that he had killed Olga.
Oh, well, I mean, that is quite the range there.
So either he's in love with Elena or he's mad at Elena.
He's either in love with Elena or he killed his ex-girlfriend?
One or the other.
Wow.
So G is an engineer, and he's working at this engineering department. And
even though he never went to school.
No, not Atalay.
Oh, sorry.
This is the guy's name. I can't say. G.
Yes.
And Atalay looks up his information in the directory of the business, but he, can't find his address, because privacy reasons, hopefully. So Atalay decides to call him from a payphone, and he disguised his voice, and he says that he has a package for him, but the package never shows up. So, and this was left like on a voicemail or answering machine or something.
Okay, I was going to say, because I would never answer my phone.
If it's not a number
Oh, and even when it is a number I know, I rarely answer my phone. Like, that's not going to happen.
Period?
Pretty much, yeah.
You answer when I call.
Sometimes.
You better answer when I call. So the package never shows up. So G decides to call back that number, and he's like, hey, where did my package go? But when calling that number back, he learns that the call had been made from a payphone. And he's like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Obviously, there's no package. This is a payphone calling me. And these payphone calls keep happening super late at night and from various locations. It's never like the same payphone twice. It's never the same number.
There's never good news coming from a payphone.
When is the last time you actually saw a payphone?
I don't know. Occasionally you'll see like the phone booths with no phone in them. Like out in Oxnard.
I can't even. The last time I remember seeing a payphone, it was like at Disneyland as like part of a display.
Yeah.
Huh. And even like call booths on like the side of the road, like emergency call booths. Those are all gone too.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Look
For
for
those
call boxes?
Uh-huh. I mean, every so often you'll see them maybe like in a rural area, like super rural. But I mean, why would you need one? Everyone has cell phones.
When I was in 3rd grade and my mom and dad took me and my brother, not Rosa, for whatever reason, on a road trip in a 1980s Toyota Dolphin camper from California to Montana.
And you ate frozen bagels?
And we ate frozen bagels because our bagels froze and we had no way of heating them up. I think I ended up sitting on them later on in the trip because that's what we were fed. But anyway,
I did not go on this trip.
On this really fun adventure of a trip, I decided to count all of the call boxes that I saw.
Oh, you were so bored.
Because that's the kind of kid I was in 3rd grade.
Let's count call boxes.
There's lots.
So as these payphone calls keep happening, somehow after like months and months of calls, Atalay manages to follow the signals and tracked down G's home address.
Oh, weird.
So I don't know if he maybe later, this is how I'm guessing he did it. Maybe he calls the phone company and says, hey, on this day at this time, I got a call from this number. Can you tell me who called me? Like a reverse call type thing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I guess they would know who was incoming and outgoing, though.
Well, I just wonder if, being that it's 2011 at this time, if you can pay without just like change like you could back in the day. Like if he's paying with a card or something. Like how would you figure out who's calling you? Well, maybe they have video.
Well, it's not even G that's figuring it out, though. Atalay is like, okay, I keep calling this number. And he figures out where G is living.
Oh, yeah, that's just like a reverse phone book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he gets it. He figures it out with the signals and somehow, I don't know, tracks it down. Anyways, he knows where he lives now because remember him and his girlfriend moved out and they cut ties with Atalay.
Right.
So he knows what kind of car G drives because he's watching him now, and he puts like a tracker on it. And the couple, they go on vacation for a weekend. And go ahead.
So we still don't know quite what his motive is at this point. We don't know if he's in love with the girlfriend or if he's pissed off at everyone.
He's just stalking them at this point.
What a psycho.
So he follows them to their vacation.
He needs a hobby.
And he rents a room in the same hotel that they're staying at. And so on September 16th, 2013, when G and his girlfriend Elena, G and Elena come home from their trip, Atalay was waiting for them, dressed as a woman, wearing a scarf, hiding in the bushes, armed with a hunting rifle.
Wait.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
We can't just gloss by that.
Are you sure?
So, you haven't had roommates. You went straight from living with mom and dad to living with husband.
Right.
But if you could just imagine for a second, you had yourself a college roommate or something.
Sure.
And you come home and you see your college roommate.
Hiding in the bushes.
Dressed as a woman.
With a scarf around their head.
Holding our hunting rifle. Well, that's when it gets a little dicey.
Mm-hmm.
But before you see the hunting rifle, maybe like he has it kind of concealed in the bush for a second.
Sure.
Thoughts?
Why are you hiding them in the bushes dressed as a woman?
I would freak out. I would bust up laughing, I think.
Well, because you're friends with your roommates.
Well, that's true.
That would be a funny joke.
That's not, I didn't end on bad. Well,
yeah.
There's some that okay.
I've got 2 in mind that you ended not on the best of terms with.
I really only have one.
I've got 2.
I only have one.
Okay.
Oh, no, I do have 2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Took me a second.
Do I know your roommates better than you?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my first instinct would be to take out my phone and start taking some pictures.
Okay. Well,
before I saw the hunting rifle.
Well, then you get really scared.
That's when things change real quick.
So he shoots at the couple 5 times at close range and ends up killing them both. He takes the gun with him while he runs away, and he leaves behind his beige Fiat, and he hides out for 2 days before returning to go and get it. But when he comes back looking for his car, the car's gone.
Well, yeah.
But they don't know it's him at this point.
He's that good at cross-dressing.
Watch what they find in his car. So, the police examine his vehicle that they find, and in it they find hair dye and plastic makeup.
Wow.
So he did prosthetics on his face to look different.
I guess he did have a hobby.
He had a shovel. Oh, he also, this is another thing. So he gets the hunting rifle, and he pretty much lies to the gun sellers that he doesn't have any health restrictions, because based on his mental stability, he wasn't supposed to get a gun.
Okay.
So he buys this gun, and then he watches YouTube videos on learning how to shoot it.
Okay.
So he was probably learning, prosthetic makeup and hair dye from.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot on YouTube, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I've saved myself a lot of money learning how to change my air filter in my car and stuff.
I had Adam cut my hair last weekend on a YouTube video.
That's fantastic. See?
Did you notice?
No, not at all.
Oh, it's 2 inches shorter.
Is it straight?
Well,
Why
it is because he used a level.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I hope you guys made your own YouTube video of doing that. So they also find a shovel, a carpenter saw with a wooden handle, a hacksaw, a star and flat mouth screwdriver, which would be a Phillips head, 2 pieces of a wool blanket, 1 quilt, a cushion, a big sized nylon,
this is a lot of things,
gel, surgical intervention materials, whatever that is, antifreeze, pliers, a battery charging cable, and nylon ropes and cables.
Wow.
So that's all in this car. I mean, none of that stuff is, creepy, is it?
Well, okay. Stop for a second.
Okay.
Let's not be judgy bitches.
I'm really good at it, though.
If somebody were to go into your car or my car, that list would be 5 pages long and probably include some really sketchy stuff.
All right.
Because right now in my car, I have a pair of spurs. I have a hunting knife. I have a pocket knife. I do have a rope in my car.
Mm-hmm.
I have about 12 half-empty water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
I have
a couple leashes, restraining harnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I've definitely got
to conclusions.
Some McDonald's French fries under my seat.
I probably have some candy corn that's been in there since September.
Okay. All right. So, a statement from G's uncle. G was the guy that was murdered. He said that his nephew was murdered on the grounds that he had been working on a big secret project, but that his nephew wasn't really an expert at, all this engineering stuff, but he was just, a simple physician's assistant. But then soon after, the police figured out that the murder was, based on either jealousy or because he was worried that they were going to that they were spreading rumors about him killing Olga. So I just took that as like being really innocent and like, oh my gosh, why would anyone want to like murder my nephew? He was, just an assistant. He wasn't doing anything bad or secretive. And I don't know. I just thought that was really sad. So on October 31st, 2013.
Halloween.
An arrest warrant was issued. And on November 12th, 2013, a ban was imposed on him to travel abroad. On March 13th, 2014, there was a red bulletin issued. So they're just like sending all these people to look for this guy. Like the big old manhunt is on for Atalay, and he flees to Europe. And Atalay Filiz is now going by the name Firkin Alton. So Atalay, he starts working at this kebab shop in January of 2016.
That's so funny to me.
Do you love kebabs?
I love kebabs.
I love kebabs.
Food's much more fun when it's on a pointy stick.
Absolutely. And it's cooked over like an open fire.
Delicious.
Great. So he said that he needed to work there, saying that he lived nearby, but he couldn't afford the money to return back to his home. And he's the only child in his family, and then his father is injured and retired. So the owner's like, oh, sob story, totally give you a job. And he says that, he knew he was a strange man, and he wouldn't talk about the schools that he attended, and he would never speak to the tourists, even though he knew four foreign languages.
That just seems inconsiderate.
And the owner also said that he would avoid cameras on the roads when he went out to deliver food, and he preferred using the side roads rather than the main one. And he starts working as a waiter in a tea garden, which I just think sounds so beautiful.
It does. Great place for a murderer to hide out.
And there's a history teacher that owns the place, and he tells... What are you...
Okay, so Rosa has her computer like right where I can see it, and I'm just like naturally reading along as she's reading the story, and I like how she just pauses and says... because she totally skipped over the teacher's name because she can't pronounce.
There's a whole bunch of weird symbols in it.
There's a history teacher that owns the place. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Her name
doesn't matter.
Janny with a K.
Keurig.
I don't even know. So he tells Janny that he's got no family. And he starts living in their home, and he starts making some money. I didn't do the conversion, but he's making 1,250 pounds a month, which sounds like a lot.
It sure does.
And
more pounds than I make a month.
And he eats, meals with them. And for the first 6 months he's working there, he doesn't respond to his name when they go, hey, Firkin. Firkin. Hey, Firkin.
Firkin.
But only when they shout super loud that he turns around and looks at them. And Jenny's husband said that he behaved strangely while working in the tea garden. He'd bring lemons to customers who requested them. So oh, hey, can I get some lemons for my water? And he's like, yeah, I'll bring in them. But then he cuts them with one of the kebab knives. In front of them. So he pulls out this big old, hacking saw to cut a lemon.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a great way to hide out from being a murderer. Uh-huh.
Well, and
that's
then
not odd at all.
He, squeezed the throat and threatened to kill a girl when she asked him if he was even a male. Okay, if you are physically assaulting the customers...
We're going to have to write you up for that,
You don't get a verbal warning. You don't.
2 more warnings.
And you're out.
We're going to have to limit you to weekdays only, no tips.
You are... You're out of a job. You're out of a house. Stop eating my food. So the tea garden unfortunately got closed down, probably to COVID, and he became unemployed.
Wait, what year are we in now?
I was not really COVID.
Oh, okay.
And we're in 2016, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And he gets unemployed, but they're still letting him live at the house. And
that's so weird. Okay, sorry.
And then this girl, Fatma, she's related to the tea garden. They have the same last name. The tea garden owners. And she's actually renting a home from Janny and her husband to use like almost a storage or an office. And she goes into her storage or office area and she sees some stuff that she's like, oh, this isn't mine. It's, gotta be Atalay Firkin's.
And it's mummified turtles and hacksaws.
Well, it's actually IDs, like multiple IDs.
Again.
And why?
Subtle, Firkin.
Mm-hmm,
Subtle.
Firkin. So on May 27th, 2016, Fatma, she sees him coming up and she's like, hey, good morning, Atalay. What's up? And
Kebab knife to the throat.
Pretty much.
What? Really? Did I call it?
Pretty much. So check this out. So he hears this and he's like, dude, I'm so caught. She's going to, she's probably already called authorities. I'm out. And he stabs her 11 times, like all over her back, her chin, her chest, her knees. And he's like, it was pretty easy. She's a real small person. And he shoves her into a suitcase.
What? And he's going to walk away? He's going to take her with her? With him?
Pretty much, yeah. Which is funny that you say, not funny, haha funny, but like, whoa, funny. But he says later, to cut off her head. But she like fought him too much. So then he just started stabbing her. So she had just dropped off her kid at school. And they later find her body pretty close to her house. And she was a history teacher who was just 40 years old.
Wow.
Investigators, they're like, okay, we've got this guy now. It says Firkin Alton. Let's put out a red alert looking for Firkin Alton. But Firkin Alton has these different IDs. He goes by these different names and different,
Are
everything.
these just like fake ideas, or are these ideas that he's like lifted off of people?
They're IDs from people that
He's
kind
murdered.
of resemble him.
Oh.
So
okay.
somehow, I don't know how he got them, but yeah, they were, I mean, pretty passable IDs. Firkin Alton, was spotted carrying this bulky suitcase, and in it was Fatma's body. So after the murder, Atalay, what was his name? Atalay? Firkin.
Firkin. Okay.
He jams again. He's out of there.
Atalay,
yeah. And he stays in a hotel for one day using this random false ID. He sleeps in a bus station for a night, and then he goes to this national park and he camps out there for about a week. Because remember, he can survive in the wilderness on his own.
Oh.
And then he decides to go into town and look for a house to stay in because he hadn't, showered in a week. So one day before his arrest, he meets this lumberjack guy in the woods.
Uh-oh.
And he asks this man if he's got a place he can stay. And the lumberjack says, oh, my brother-in-law has a 2-bedroom house that he's wanting to rent out. Let me show it to you. And Atalay, he's like, oh, this is going to be perfect. It's, kind of in the woods. I'm going to, pay you however much money in rent. Oh, by the way, do you have a job for me?
Yeah, I was going to say, how is he still paying?
Well, since he was kind of, living in people's homes and eating their food, he was able to save a lot of his money.
Hell?
And the lumberjack's like, this guy's giving me like the heebie-jeebies. And he gets a little suspicious about him. And he's like, hey, do you have some ID I can, check up on you? And Atalay, he's like, oh, I totally left my ID back in my car. I got to go back and get it. and the lumberjacks never saw him again. He just totally took off.
Interesting.
So after that, he slept in like the barracks for a few nights.
Wait,
I think barracks might. I think they mean something different.
Like a hostel?
I took it more as like on the streets, like in the slums.
Huh. Okay.
So he slept somewhere. He crashed somewhere for a few nights hiding out after that.
Okay.
So he gets on this minibus and he's, trying to get out of town. And this person recognizes him. And the passenger gets off the bus and he, calls the authorities, and the authorities stop the bus. And in the bus on Atalay, they find 2 hunting knives, pepper spray, 4 fake IDs, 3 fake driver's licenses, 14 credit cards.
Wow. He's really good at stealing wallets.
A French citizenship certificate, and then a bunch of lyre, how do you say that word? For money?
I don't know.
Some other like euros and other kinds of money on him.
I don't even know.
I know.
Pounds.
I've heard it.
Let's just go with pounds.
Money.
Do you think you would be able to do that?
Would I?
Identify somebody?
No, because I have no visual recollection.
Oh, yeah, you have that thing.
I mean, no, absolutely not.
I don't think I would either. I think it would be, unless you had like a freaking lightning bolt scar across your forehead, or tattoos across your eyelids, I don't think I would be able to. I'm
really bad with facial recognition.
Me too.
We, so over the weekend, there were these 2 dogs running on the street. Remember I took a picture and texted to you?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And they're beautiful dogs and really sweet, well-tempered, get in my car so you don't get hit dogs. Load them into my car, take them to my house, call the number on their tags, and shortly after their owner comes and picks them up. And I'm talking to her for a little bit. We figure out we're, kind of neighbors. And the next day we go to church, and like a row over, I see this woman waving at me.
And you don't know who she is?
No freaking clue who she is.
And it's the same person.
It was the dog owner.
What?
Uh-huh. And Nick goes, "Who's that waving?" I go, "I don't know. I have no fucking idea."
How'd you figure it out?
Because she came and talked to me at the end.
But how'd you,
She's like, she introduced me to her kids, and she's like, "You guys, this is who saved our dogs." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Weird. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm that bad.
Oh, I would have no idea.
But maybe she's in her like Sunday best.
No, I don't. Whatever. It was the same person. I had no clue. She knew who I was. I was definitely not in my Sunday best on Saturday.
Huh.
So I would not.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would either. Like, as far as like seeing a paper or like a missing person flyer in a paper or something, because I see them all the time. I mean, they're always around.
I'd walk right by them.
Yeah, I would too.
So Atalay also had these books showing a bunch of like campsites and parks. He had some candy bars on them. He also had a list of porn actresses written on a kebab order slip, which I thought that was fantastic. Wow. He had some like childhood photos that he had just held on to. He had some music CDs. And then on another note, he wrote the names of the movies Natural Born Killers, The Usual Suspects, and Reservoir Dogs.
This guy's really bad at what he does.
So this part I loved. So the police go and they're going to go check his room that he was renting from that house.
Okay.
And they find this like wooden chest that was all locked up. In the trunk, there was a bunch of murder novels. There was like a bunch of like weight instruments. And now I don't know if these are like working out weight instruments or like weighing like in measurements, like a scale instrument. There's also a bunch of murder films and the Dexter series.
Oh, Jesus. I thought you were going to say there was a basket of rotting oranges.
Ew, and he
checked up on them every single day.
Marks. And so they take him to trial, and he gets questioned. He has issues with like his lawyer and asks for someone different, and the judge is like, oh, okay. The whole trial stuff kind of like I didn't really understand, because he gets charged for pretty much a not a mass murderer, a
serial killer.
Yeah, they pretty much labeled him as a serial killer. And what?
Do you have a block against words?
Sometimes I really do. And he
wait.
Go.
So
yeah,
he's a serial killer,
right?
But did they confirm that he was the suspect in all? Like, was he a suspect in all 3 of these murders at this point?
He admits to it.
Oh.
He admitted to killing them all.
Well, how the turntables.
But he doesn't admit to having anything to do with Olga. And he also denies like a bunch of stealing of IDs and stuff, which is like okay, why do you have 14 different IDs on you then?
And why are you going to admit to murder and be like, oh, no. Stealing a wallet, stealing somebody's identity. No, I would never cross that line.
Yeah, obviously stealing ID is much worse than murdering 3 people.
Clearly.
So he gets convicted, and I'm shortening up the end here because the whole trial stuff's just not as interesting to me, at least. But he gets a life sentence for the 2016 murder. And he, a few months later, he gets 2 life sentences for the other 2 murders. So he's got 3 life sentences on him. And I hope he rots in hell.
Do we ever have any motive?
Well, the reason he says, and he never really admitted to jealousy. He never says that he fell in love with Elena, but he instead says that they were just spreading rumors about him and Olga's disappearance. And he was just angry at them. And then the reason that he killed Fatma was because
she knew too much. And he was worried he was going to get told on. Neither of those are very good reasons. I wish I knew what happens with Olga.
I know. That's kind
like the mystery.
Unanswered.
And yeah, did they find her body?
Nope, nothing.
Weird. Huh, that's really sad.
But that's my story.
Yeah, that's weird. And for being such like a creepo, the fact that this was somebody who actually showed some sort of interest in him too and ended up getting murdered.
Olga?
Yeah.
Well, I think she just wanted to get away from him.
Well, but then she wanted to go meet him that night.
Maybe it's like the whole first love thing. Like you just kind of like always
hang
have
on
it in the back of your head.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, just a bummer of a story. Not super ha-ha funny.
Yeah.
But that turkey, man.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Wild
turkey.
Wow, we're clever. Okay, I have to pee.
All right. Do you have your last thought and shot for me?
I have it. What?
Do you want me to sing for you?
God, I'm hoping every week that you'll forget about this whole thing.
Nope, never.
I didn't decide on making this part of the show.
It's in your contract. You need to read
Okay,
it.
well, you can sing it if you want to sing it, but I'll just be here.
Last thought and a thought. Oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on.
Last thought and a shot. Last thought and a shot. Last thought and a shot.
Okay.
Turkey shot.
Turkey.
Wait, you have to
Oh,
cheers.
yeah, cheers. Sorry.
Shoot it.
Okay, here we go. Cheers.
With our wine that actually has alcohol in it
Vodka,
now.
our vodka
Bacardi.
grape juice.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, rum grape juice. We put we put Bacardi in this, not vodka. Anyway,
No.
moving on.
Last thought and a shot from Turkey.
I have a few surprising fun facts about Turkey. There's 17 on here. I'm going to read you 3.
Okay. Hey, have you ever seen a Turkish eye?
Yes.
So I have a friend who's Turkish, and her mom is from Turkey.
Oh, wow.
Like hardcore Turkey. Like, and she, when we all, I mean, this is a high school friend. So when we all got our licenses, she gave us a Turkish eye.
I remember
to hang
that
in our car to protect us.
Do you still have it?
If I do, I don't know where it is. I don't know why I would throw it away because it was such a, sweet little gift. But I can't think of where it is right now.
Well, I have a friend, speaking of the Turkish eye, whose grandmother is super into Turkey and all kinds of like Turkish television and watching it, like the soap operas and stuff, and reading the subtitles, and got super into the culture and found like online friends from Turkey and stuff. So I found randomly at CVS a bracelet with the Turkish eye on it, the
cool.
evil eye. And I got it for her. And she gave me like a list of recommendations of shows to go watch. They are all like Fabio romance novel,
men,
borderline softcore porn.
So when you're watching these Turkish soap operas, the subtitles are in English?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because I'm clearly I don't even understand the letters that are in the Turkish alphabet.
Oh, my goodness.
But that is actually segue into one of my fun facts about Turkey. So, did you know that Turkish is surprisingly easy to learn?
I don't want to say I knew that, but while I was reading or looking for different articles to translate via Google Translate, I thought I could pick up certain words.
Really? Okay. So, according to this article, despite appearances, Turkish is surprisingly easy to learn.
I wouldn't say easy.
The tongue-twisting 70-letter Mulfashavazaksel.
Right, super easy.
Sasha Vishmai Vilak Kurlad Nisten Missenshire. Or...
You're just making sounds.
That's what letters do, Rosa. Or in English, as if... I can't even read the English part. In English, as if you are... From those, we may not be able to easily make a marker of unsuccessful ones.
Wait, what the hell did you just say?
As if you are from those, we may not be able to easily make a marker of unsuccessful ones.
I still don't get what you said.
It's super easy, Rosa. Super easy. It's thought to be the longest word in Turkish. And the algorithmic tongue, whose dialects are spoken across a swath of Asia all the way to the western China, yet Turkish is pretty easy to pick up, following a language reform in the 1920s that simplified to a vocabulary and moved from the Arabic script to the Latin alphabet. It's super simple. Come give it a shot.
All right.
Did that make any sense at all?
None.
It's supposed to be super easy. So if you want a fun, easy language to learn, there you go.
That would be cool, actually.
Fun fact number 2. Did you know that Turkey had a national sport?
No. Can I guess?
Give it a guess.
Give me 3 guesses. 3 options.
Jello wrestling?
Yes.
Oil wrestling? Pudding wrestling?
Oh, I'm down with any of those. I'm going to say oil, though.
Oil wrestling. Yes, you would be correct. Oil wrestling is the national sport, the spectacle of 2 bulky men stripped to their waist, doused with olive oil, and grappling under the hot sun.
Is this part of the Turkish soap opera porn?
Yeah, I think so. It's a 654-year-old sport and tradition that is the national sport there.
That's pretty cool.
Apparently, camel wrestling tournaments are also held throughout the region.
Camel?
Yeah, not exactly sure how that works.
I don't like that.
Bull wrestling near the Black Sea, also popular. I don't know if they're talking about like literal animals, if those are like weight classes or something. I'm hoping the
they're
latter.
Not animals, yeah.
Yeah. So 2 more. I know I said I had 3, but I just saw this oil wrestling thing, so I had to include that one.
Got it.
Santa Claus from Turkey.
Wait, he's not. He's from the North Pole.
Apparently St. Nicholas was born far from the North Pole. He was born in Turkey. Maybe he just moved there later,
For later years,
Yeah,
retired.
like retired up, wanted to be a little bit more isolated.
Get some more rooms for his elves.
Exactly. Slave labor is like cool there,
How
whatever.
many Christmas movies have you watched so far?
None. I haven't. Have you?
I watched Noel.
I still haven't watched that from last year, and I think you recommended it.
So cute.
I've
So
not watched
cute.
that. I haven't watched any.
Watch Noel.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
At least I don't think I have.
Do you remember yoga pants? Yogurt pants?
Is that what that's from?
Mm-hmm.
I totally thought you made that up.
No, it's from
You've
Noel.
been saying that to me for a year now, and I thought it was something you just made up.
I'm really funny, but not that funny.
Okay.
Yogurt pants.
And then finally, turkey
Mm-hmm.
is not oftenly consumed in Turkey.
Oh, fun fact.
Fun fact, it's pretty rare. It sounds like how we pretty much eat a roasted turkey on Thanksgiving once a year.
Uh-huh.
They do the same for New Year's, about once a year. And that's about it.
Well, I eat turkey in my sandwiches.
Yeah, but you're not eating a whole roasted turkey.
Okay.
But this is also like a 3-sentence explanation on this article about turkey being eaten once a year in Turkey. So, I don't know.
I like it.
Not a popular food.
I wonder what they do eat in Turkey. Pants. Hey, you need to pick for next week.
Oh, okay. We gotta get the basket.
You gotta reach it.
Yeah, I have to. Oh, shoot. Sorry, that was probably really loud.
Sorry. It's right there.
Okay, region first.
Go.
You think we're gonna be national or international?
I kind of hope it's international again because this was surprisingly difficult for me. I want you to experience difficultness.
Well, I will be experiencing the difficultness of Michigan.
Oh, yeah, real difficult.
I don't know why. I have such a scratchy throat tonight.
I hope you're not getting sick.
Ooh, I hope not. And we are going with paranormal.
Oh, fun! Michigan.
That should be fun. Paranormal Michigan. What's paranormal in Michigan?
What's in Michigan? What's Michigan known for?
Lakes.
Okay.
Wetness.
Okay.
Coldness.
They have a really big sports team.
And go sports.
Michigan?
It's cold in Michigan.
Can you identify Michigan on a map?
I sure can.
Really?
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Where? Tell me where.
It's like up and east-ish, and it's the one
Okay,
with
I'm done.
it's
Once
the
you
one
threw
with the
word
big
east.
lake.
There's no, when you look at it.
It is a huge lake.
No, when you look at a U.S. map, and
Yeah.
it's just the outline of the states,
Right.
there are no lakes.
You are incorrect.
We should print out a blank U.S.
Try
map
to label
and
it.
see how many we can label. I can get Florida, Texas, California, Kentucky. And you want to know why I can get Kentucky? Because in 8th grade, that was the state I had to do my research report on.
Oh, really? I was going to say, because we went to Kentucky. No, like Michigan. Look it. That's the one with the lakes.
There's no, there's no lakes.
Where's
Where's a lake?
the lake? The lake. The lake.
That's a lake?
That's a lake. What did you think it was? Just a void in the earth? You just thought it was a really big hole?
I thought it was a hole in the states.
What did you think was there?
Why is it the same color as the background? I hate you. All right,
That's like one of the few states I can identify. Let me have this win.
I totally thought that was a hole.
A hole. The great hole.
Whatever. Stupid. All right, everyone. I hope you laughed at us and not cried, because I'm about to.
Okay.
All right. Have a great week. We will see you next Friday. And until then, don't forget to be a fountain.
And not a drain.
Bye-bye.
Bye.